Jaylen Waddle does not finish as a wide receiver 4 in fantasy.
Wait.
So not even in the top 48 receivers.
Whoa.
And he's going, remember, Diddy, no one's listening, so it's okay. We're just chatting over warm lime seltzers.
No judgment.
And right now, his ADP as a 2021, depending where you look on Underdog, depending on the format, his ADP, I think, entails so much more volatility than we're given credit for. Because he did average 9 targets and 10 full games that he played with Tua last year, but also 5 of his top 24 games. So 5 of his games as he finished at least as a wide receiver 2, that's what was without Devontae Parker. And so I do think there's a terrific chance in basically Tyreek Hill now being better Devontae Parker. I think there's a chance it's like Kadarius Toney and Sterling Shepard last year, where Kadarius Toney, he only flashed in one game, first off. But anytime Sterling Shepard played a full game, I think it was 8 all last year, he literally out-targeted Kadarius Toney because at the time, at least, Shepard was a better player, not more explosive, but he was better wide receiver than Toney was last year. And so that's what I think is happening here in a run-first offense where we still have to feed these other guys in a 3-headed backfield committee, not to mention Mike Gesicki, maybe some Cedric Wilson and other options. There are only so many crossing routes to go around in a run-first attack under Mike McDaniel. And so I keep coming back to the idea that like Jaylen Waddle is basically double his ADP off.
Wow. You know what? I'm trying not to judge. I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time with that one. I mean, I guess that means that you are bullish on Tyreek Hill and his ADP.
Yeah. So you have to be, in my opinion, you have to be bullish on one and bearish against the other.
Yes.
And maybe it's the fact that everyone, and it's not even really, he's going as the wide receiver 10 or 11 right now on Underdog. So not many people are even bearish on Tyreek Hill, but just the fact that we've seen this before. And at the time, Tyreek Hill was 26, but in his last year with Alex Smith, Tyreek Hill was still the wide receiver 5 in fantasy points per game. Like he's shown he can elevate the play of any quarterback, no matter how poor they are under center. Whereas I still don't really believe that with Jaylen Waddle, as long as there's competition around him, since in my opinion, he's still just a slot receiver. And so that's what I keep coming back to for this wide receiver core.
I can't disagree with your Tyreek take.
You can, you just can't judge.
No. I really, I mean, the judgment, I'm just rattled about the Waddle take, but the Tyreek thing is right because, and you know, this is not analytical or anything. This comes straight from the gut. Tyreek Hill is the most difference making wide receiver I've ever seen in football. Like I don't know. I've never seen a player who can take over. And I've never seen a wideout who can take over a game just like that. And he's done it with everyone. He did it with Matt Moore, like he said recently. I did it with Matt Moore. He did it obviously with Mahomes. He did it with Alex Smith. Like it really doesn't matter. Him and early career OBJ are the two guys that come to mind when I think of the absolute most electric receivers that I've ever seen. So I tend to agree with you. And in a run first offense, which, you know, the Dolphins are probably going to look similar to how the Niners operate. Where are the targets going to come from for both of these guys to exceed their ADPs?
I will say the question I keep asking myself is, since Tyreek Hill now turns 30 and he's fresh off a career low in yards per route run, still 2.1, still much better than your average receiver, but it was a career low and it's been trending down. Like, is that the catalyst here? Is that what makes the biggest difference? And I still think, though, even in the last 5 seasons, averaging 13.3 fantasy points per game, basically never letting us down, I still think he's the one I'm betting on if I believe we can only have one very good receiver at their ADP hit in this offense.
Yeah, I mean, that makes it, you've given me a lot to think about, John.